Face, we live and rolling. So first, brother, state your name and where you from.
What up? Dreamstone, Edward Mitchell from Brooklyn, New York, from Bushwick, to be precise. Locked up 22 years on a 20 to life sentence.
Okay, well, this segment is called Box Stories. Psychological effects, psychological defects, memorable moments, if any, if you have any long-term trauma. First and foremost, I want to know, when was the last time you've been in special housing, punitive segregation?
And well, I got out the box October 25th, 2019, for me.
Okay. And what's the longest box trip you've taken? What's the longest time you've been in a box?
Longest time I did was I did 18 months. This was in 2005 for a stabbing in Green Haven.
Okay. Which box they had you in?
Well, I was in Green Haven's box first, like a month and a half. Then I went to Southport. Sheesh. That's a spot that you'll never forget, ever.
What's the setup like in Southport? What's the setup like at Southport? Is it a 2-man cell, 1-man cell, mental health?
Yeah, when you pull up, they give you the whole rundown. They strip search you, put you in the ball shed, have you chained and shackled from the intake all the way to the cell area. And when you get on the cells, 21 men cells, individual cells though. As soon as you come on the company, all you smell is burning tissue, that's the wick, and feces, a bunch of doodle. So if you smell that doodle, you know somebody just got shitted down.
Oh man, why you smell burning tissue? What's that certificate of?
So when you burn tissue, because Southport is a non-smoking box. So you're not allowed to have no cigarettes, no tobacco product, no lights, no anything. So we used to pop the light socket with a pencil and a paper clip, and we call it wick. You make a wick, and you keep the wick in the vent, and that's for your cigarettes. So dudes will keep the wick rolling, no bull. It's like 20 hours. Dudes will take watches, like shifts, making sure the wick don't go out.
Oh, wow. And the wick is like a roll of tissue burning?
Yeah, so what you do, you take a long strip of tissue, you tie it to the bars. It's probably like 40 feet long. And then you flip it in half to make it like 20 feet long. And you roll it, you twist it. And that one light that you get on some real surviving the wilderness shit, you have to keep this light going for hours on end. So, like, I might take 5 hours watching the wick, and I'll pass the wick to you. You'll watch the wick for 5 hours, making sure it don't go out.
And this is like amongst rivals, everybody, or it's just a camaraderie thing once you get down there?
That's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing. Like, no matter what set you playing, if you banging or whatever, like, you could be Aryan Brotherhood or you could be Black Panther. It doesn't make a difference. In that situation, when it comes to that, we all in. So you be white Brotherhood, and you say, hey, guys, do you have a light down there, nigger? I'm like, yeah, honky, I got a light coming for you. It don't really make a difference.
So a lot of things, a lot of differences get put aside in the box temporarily.
Yeah, definitely does. Because another thing too, like, not all boxes has this feature, but we have in Southport you have porters that come out and feed you your food. So like I was saying, you can have a white Brotherhood, a national Proud Boy or whatever, and he's serving blacks, Spanish, everything. And there's no violation. But then again, you have some dudes who do violate the food and starve dudes out, and that shit is crazy. But for the most part, so there's a sense of camaraderie.
Oh, that's good. So you're down there in the box 18 months. How old were you at this particular time, that long stretch? Were you early in your bed? Or?
Yeah, I just turned 21 or 22.
Oh, wow.
In the beginning of my bed, so like 21.
So you're 21 years old, and you come from a juvenile type of adolescent setting where the boxes, or Rikers Island box could get a little extensive too, but it's still a little different than a prison box. But so you had not been doing these long, extensive box terms from juvenile to Rikers Island, is what you said.
Yeah, basically, see, on Rikers Island, when I was in C-74 and I was going by, obviously, another handle, C-Murder, I had my weight up, and police, the COs back in the day, they let you what they call knockout for a lockout. So if I wasn't the porter, I'd tell the porter, yo, listen, I want to fight you for this slot, for your lockout spot. We'll go in the day room and we'll fight, and if I win, now I'm the porter. So it was where I wrecked, you could smoke and all that. Whereas up north, that's the worst. So now, like you said, I went from a child mentality to now I have to fend for myself, so to speak. You know,
Yeah.
I'm on some adult time now. There's no more kitty land. And this shit is real. Really
You're not fighting nobody for no spot up north. That's not happening.
Yeah, nah,
If you're supposed to be in a box, you're supposed to be there. You're going to be there. I understand that. So you're down there at 21 years old after an incident you get into the spot. And now, who pull your coat to how to survive down there besides hearing the stories? Like, who was your first encounter? What was the first person?
Yeah, so when I first pulled up in Southport, I was down there with an older brother named Al G and La Brim. We was all on the same company. And La Brim is obviously a name brand individual in a certain, demographic or lifestyle or whatever, right?
Right.
So he would always pull me up like, yo, Dream, you in the box, you mind your business, don't worry about what your neighbor doing. Always keep your curtain up. It's like in Southport, the cells open up the slot. They have feet up slots. And it always opens up from the left to the right. So the person that's behind me, or rather in the cell next to me, on my left, he had what you call a drop. So he could literally reach his arm out, his feet up slot, and shit me down, throw milk, spoiled milk, or whatever into my cell. Whereas I don't have that option of doing that back to him. So if I'm mad and I want to get revenge, I'd have to victimize the neighbor to my right, which would be I'll be his left, and I'll shit him down, et cetera, et cetera. So basically told me, yo, keep your sheet up, keep your curtain up. Don't be playing your headphone loud at night, because that shit disturbs dudes. This is when we had the old school headphone. One earphone, that shit was metal as hell. You bust a nigga clean inside the head. You word to everything. You beat that nigga to head like a Mexican pinata. So, he tell me, yo, Dream, work out. This is how you get through the Sabbath. At the time, I was devastated. 18 months? I'm like, damn, this is a lot of time in my first box bed. He came. He was one of the porters actually, La Brim and Al G. So he'd come in front of my cell. We'll work out. He'd be rapping, and we was talking about my ideals. In fact, this is when I was working on my first poetry book, Incarcerated Dreams. And indeed, I wrote my first 18-month poem behind being in the box because of La Brim, called 18 Months in the Hole. Hard time.
Well, yeah, the brother's undergoing a whole nother system of injustice right now in the federal government, man. So hopefully that prevail for him, man.
Yeah, definitely respect.
So those are the first persons you encountered that kind of told you what you needed to do. So outside, when they wasn't around and lights out or just a typical day, what kind of noises were you hearing? What kind of sounds was going on down there?
Now, so picture this. Every day is literally like a zoo. It's the most disrespectful environment. Like a motherfucker wake up and call me, yo, Dream. I'm like, yo, what up? Yo, top of the dickhead, you bitch ass nigga. I'm like, what? Hey, where the fuck that come? He's like, normal people be like, yo, top of the morning, good morning. But niggas just start their day off gate banging. Yo, top of the dickhead. Or a nigga call his neighbor, yo, what's up? You still got tobacco? Nigga might have some. He'll tell him, nah, I ain't got no more. But meanwhile, niggas, he smell him smoking. He be like, yo, you bitch ass nigga, suck my dick. So literally, from the time the lights come on, when the porter come out to serve breakfast at like 7:15 until about 12:20 the following morning, all you hear is suck my dick. You hear a bunch of war stories. Yo, this bitch this bitch suck my dick this, and yo, if I had this, yo, that shit is mayhem. It's very rarely do you hear any intellectual conversations.
So you're telling me your sleeping pattern is all thrown off by this time?
Yeah, and that's crazy shit, because at around 2:30, 3 o'clock, motherfuckers be waiting for the mail to come. And that's when niggas will double down and listen to their stories on the wall, the General Hospitals and I Love Lucy or whatever, so, soap operas. So from like 2:30 to like
What you mean listen to your stories on the wall? Like there's a TV down there, is what you saying?
Yeah, like we had the headphones, so one station be a TV tuned in to Channel 7, and you hear the soap operas, while the other stations tuned into their little rink-a-dink radio station.
Yeah,
so at that time, niggas will listen to the stories, and that's when niggas get their naps, and they revamp, and the mail come through. They charge up their batteries.
So there's some type of weird structure going on down there in this box.
Yeah, but that's just it. Well, it doesn't really be any disc you would have. So it's 21 cells on the company, and when I first went there in 2004, 2005, every cell was packed. So you would have the first 3 cells up front rapping, the next 3 or 4 cells gate banging, The next 3 or 4 or 5 cells talking the story. Then the next 4 or 5 cells playing chess. The two neighbors is playing chess versus these two neighbors, and everybody's yelling over each other. That shit is mayhem. Like that shit has turned the Sandman insane. That shit is crazy.
So that's well. Before I get to that question, then, what warrants a shit down? I know you keep mentioning that. Like what get anything? Like you could just be reading a book and somebody just shit you down, or there's some beef, or what warrants that? Like how do you get shit down?
That's the illest shit. It could be anything from an argument over a chess game. Like you and I could start playing chess. You my neighbor. I got the drop on you. Remember I was telling you I could reach my arm out and shit you down.
Yeah.
So it could be anything from brother. I took your rook. Fuck you talking about 12 to 20. You understand? So then you be like, nigga, you ain't take shit. Next thing you know, I'm shitting you down. But what happened with me, I actually got shitted down. It was the worst experience in my life. And I was beefing with my neighbor. His name was Louis. Everybody knows Louis. Him and Lobo, the notorious shit slingers. So I was antagonizing this dude every day. Old Cuban dude. And he's a box monster. Hey, dude, Mitchell, you fucking homo rape rat. That's what he called everybody, homo rape rat. So I was riling his shit up just all day. Me and my son Pip was riling him up. So then he got the police to pop my cell for fake urinalysis. So I come out my cell. I'm shackled down. Now I know this thing about the bus's cup. Bus's cup, that's the term we use when they about the shit you in. So sure enough, I tried to run past the cell, and he had this big-ass soup cup from they used to give out doing kosher. And he had two of them. The first one, it hit me, but it didn't catch my face. It only caught the side of my body. So police like, yo, you like, man, fuck you. So I'm riling police shit up. Yo, listen, we gonna put you down for refusal of urinalysis. Now, mind you, I don't have no dirty urines on my record, so I don't want no dirty urines on my record. I don't want to take ASAP. Long story short, I try to beeline past this nigga to sell again. Now, mind you, I'm dripping this shit. This shit look like a costume. Word to everything. Nigga hits me again, shit me down. I swear to God, to this day, I'm still affected by that shit. To this day, if I walk with a nigga and I smell some fart, I swear to God, I smell like that shit is right in my nose. It's the worst experience ever, bro.
I can't even.
And I had corn stuck to my sweater. Cabbage. Crazy, bro.
I can't even relate to that, brother. But
that's crazy.
I mean, these are some of the things. See, this segment of box stories is really related to understanding that there's definitely a flip side to everything. Because I've been hearing a lot of, stuff on the internet and just people in general. I even caught myself telling a war story or two, but it's really the glorification of it. I just really haven't heard anyone truly, have an open and honest conversation about their time spent. Now, it's more so being away from your family. You're already away from your family, but now you're even deeper in the depths, away from your family, general population, access to things, and now you're down there with individuals who are trained to be box monsters, as you say. Now you got to be down there in their world. They know how to get to you. They know how to do that. And if you have to become a box monster, do you feel like did that or does that take away from you yourself? Just having to conform to that even for 18 months, you feel like anything was chipped away from you, your sanity, your mindset, your principles?
That's a good question. I'm going to keep it on, though. If a nigga's not strong enough, you can easily fall into that sinkhole. Listen, the only thing that you want at that time is revenge. When you get shitted down, and that was the worst shit. And the crazy shit, police be with it. Police will set you up to get shitted down. So after I got shitted down, I stuck it up. Meaning I didn't get the handcuffs back. So a bunch of dudes on the company was like, yo, Dream, fuck that shit, son. Stick it up. Keep the handcuffs. Niggas started kicking their doors down. And that shit, it builds anger inside of you, and it makes you cry, not because you know you a bitch or none of that. It makes you cry because you have no control. So now all you want to do is make somebody else feel the same pain. You want to shit somebody else down. In facts of life, although I never shitted nobody down, I'm not going to say that the idea never came across my mind, especially motherfuckers that got to walk past my cell to take their shower. And that's the crazy shit, because I seen one nigga get shitted down damn near by the whole company. His cell was like 19 cells, and he got to walk all the way to the front to take a shower. No less than like 10, 12 niggas shitted this nigga down. Wild shit, spoiled milk, piss. But the shit is sad, though. It shows me, like, damn, us as a people, as a black people, we acting like real fucking animals, like monkeys. And the white man is putting one against each other, so to speak. They give me an extra tray, but they won't give you an extra tray or nobody else an extra tray. Yeah. So now you get mad at me. You dig what I'm saying? Like, yo, who the fuck you get an extra tray for? Niggas ain't anybody else ain't getting none. So now niggas is like, yo, fuck is you doing for the police? Even though you ain't do shit. You're not working for the police. You think I'm saying? You may be cordial with them, and they be like, yo, here go extra space. Now niggas is jealous. So now they start beefing with you, and now you don't have no recourse but to shit a nigga down. And that's what happens a lot of times.
That's just, I mean, realistically, man, because there's levels of sanity, right? So if you have to get to that level, you already have shedded some type of inhibition, morality, anything. If you get to that point, because we quote unquote not normal behavior, but again, in an environment like that, it's not looked at, you know, it's not necessarily frowned upon because that is a subculture within itself. Prison and the box is an even deeper part of the subculture that, you know, that you unlock when you do certain things, like a level in a video game. Like you unlock that level and then you live a different way. So it's not technically, you know, professionally it would say, oh, a lot of individuals that are playing in feces or have some psychological issues. And that could or could not be true, but it's just about adaptation and conforming when you're in an environment that breeds that type of, you know, behavior, man. So it could go either way when you have to look at that aspect. But you personally, you down there, 18 months, 21 years old, you know, I know you from your C Murder days doing your thing. You've always been a vibrant, happy, you know what I mean, tough kid, man. So what did that change a little bit when you landed down there after all of these events was happening and you just down there by yourself? Or if you had, first, did you have a cellmate?
Now, I was fortunate enough to always go to Southport, if you call that shit fortunate, because they do have other spots like upstate, they call it 200 box, and you do have a bunkie. So you got to smell his shit. You got to be listening to him when he's taking a piss. He beating off in the cell, because y'all locked up all day. So now he beating off in the cell, the bag shaking. This shit feel like a tornado or earthquake.
Oh, man, that's the rough.
Fortunately for me, I was always in the cell by myself, and that may have actually been a very unfortunate day, because that shit get lonely. That shit do get lonely. I don't know how to play solitaire, so what I used to do, the crazy shit to keep myself company, I learned how to juggle. I started juggling with 3 socks. I rolled my socks up and into a ball, and I started word of mouth. I started learning how to juggle 3 socks with one hand, and then I roll the sock up and I smack it off the wall on some hand bullshit. I cry myself it's like I put thoughts in my head that was so depressing, and I end up crying myself to sleep. And then no bail coming through, and then police used to dab me on food. Then they had this shit called the loaf. It was the worst shit ever. In fact,
I've seen that on TV. I've heard about it in my travels.
Yeah, bro.
Explain what that is.
All right, so the loaf is one, they call it nutrition. It's a whole nutritious meal. It's like a big-ass bread. It's hard as a bitch. And it got carrots and corn. And I'm allergic to carrots and potatoes. So then they gave me the kosher one. This shit was as gray as asphalt. And it had no taste to it. You don't get no salt, but they had cabbage. I'm not really sure what the hell a cabbage for. I don't know. Maybe it helped to digest the food. But it's the worst. I didn't eat any of that for 7 days. Then when you're on water deprivation, they turn your water off. You only get water 3 times a day, 15-minute increments. And I think like every 6 hours or some shit, 7 hours, they'd come through and turn your water on for only 15 minutes. It was the worst. I mean, one point in time, it was so hot. It was the summertime. But I always keep my cell clean, my toilet clean. I use the broom that we get to clean our cells up, clean our floors with, and I take a bar of soap and I, put it on the bristles of the broom and I clean the inside of the toilet. I mean, one time, shit is wild. It's so degrading, my nigga, and this shit sad. Just think about it, but they had no water in my sink. But because my toilet was clean, I ended up having to drink out the toilet, my nigga, because it was so hot and I had a glass up on my cell. They had me on a deprivation order, a shield order. I swear to God, if it was 90 degrees outside, it was at least 120 inside.
Yeah, that's facts, though. I can imagine.
Word to everything. Nigga ended up having to drink out his toilet. And this is 21 years old, so that shit really did traumatize a nigga.
Crazy, man.
Shit a nigga went through. That shit is the
21-year-old, I mean, God, that's just serious, man. 21-year-old male drinking out of a toilet. That's normalized. It's called survival. You got to do that in order to even make it. Do they have any mental health services, or who comes around to even help you out while you're in the box? Do they got any services?
Yeah, they got a mental health, a social worker actually come through once a day, if that. And then sometimes they'll pull you out your cell and talk to you and tell you how crazy you are or how crazy you're not. This is going to be all right. It's the easiest shit in the world for them to tell you it's going to be all right, because they're not the ones doing hard time. They ain't doing a hard time. You see, they not the one drinking out the toilet bowl on a damn loaf. Them motherfuckers is losing weight. You know what I'm saying? Police following. But it wasn't a high, and that's the crazy shit. You keep telling me it's gonna be alright, but it wasn't a high.
Did they prescribe you anything? Did you ever get prescribed anything? Any medication?
Yeah, they definitely had me on some shit. The doctor, when they allowed me to see the medical doctor, he had me on some shit called Risperdal or some other. But I ain't gonna hold you. I used to cheat that shit. One thing, I never took the medication that they did prescribe me. Because I never wanted to feel like I was that weak where I needed to be medicated.
Well, they gave you a diagnosis, I think. With Risperdal, so they had to give you a schizoaffective, bipolar type of diagnosis.
Yeah, that's the shit. Yeah, these doctors will be quick to diagnose you with some shit: bipolar, schizophrenia, antisocial.
That's everybody. Everybody that comes to the prison system or any type of setting, they give them antisocial just because they feel like you broke some norms of society. So that's really what antisocial really is, going against the norms of society in the basic, sense of the word. So everybody gets that initially, and then they start going further and giving you these other diagnoses. Did they ever give you a level or level 1?
Only time I did get a level, I was on level 2, but I know one time. In fact, this is when I was in Auburn. I was going for my college degree. This is when they had the CPEP, the Cornell Prison Education Program. Although obviously we wasn't going to Cornell University, we had professors coming in. So I went to the box. I got caught with a knife, and I didn't want to lose college. I didn't want to miss out on getting this degree. So what I did, when I was in the box, I did a hang-up, called a hang-up stunt. Mm-hmm. And this hang-up stunt almost went too damn far, and I almost really took myself out. But I did that just so I could stay in the prison. I know if I put the noose around my neck and I hang myself up, they're going to drop my level to a level 1. And the reason I did that, I had to appeal in Albany. I said, damn, I know my shit going to come back reversed. I'm going to go back to population. I'm going to be able to finish college. But I almost went too far, and I literally almost killed myself.
Just to beat, first you were trying to beat the box and stay in there, correct?
That's it, just to get out the box.
And level, explain the levels, though. The level 1 is considered the highest mental health level. Yeah. And that means you have a severe mental illness, right?
Yeah. Hey, yo, bro, damn, they rotating phone right now. It's 3 o'clock right now.
That's so good, man. This is good stuff, man. I'm gonna put it together, edit it up, and we take it from there. I appreciate you, brother.
I definitely appreciate you, man. I love you, bro, man. Like I said, Happy New Year to you and the royal family. I'll definitely get back up with you later, all right?
All right.